Yes, indeed. Here we are again. It's Thursday. Is me out on straight? Can't have that, can we? That's better. Okay, it's Thursday. It's 8 o'clock. GJ Armstrong in the house. And I'm going to play you a little bit of Johnny Cash, a little bit of Elton John. Is it Elton John? He had a hit with it. It's a Who song, actually. You may recognize it. Tell me if it's coming through in the comments. Turn it down a bit in the ears. That's better. Ever since I was a young boy, well, I played that silver ball. From Soho down to Brighton, you know that I must have played them all. But I ain't seen nothing like it in any amusement hall. You know that deaf, dumb, and that blind kid, well, he sure plays a mean pinball. Well, he stands just like a statue, becomes part of the machine. He's feeling all the bumpers and he's always playing clean. He plays by intuition, then digit counters fall. You know that deaf, dumb, and that blind kid, well, he sure plays a mean pinball. Well, he's a pinball wizard. There has to be a twist. The pinball wizard got such a supple wrist. Well, how do you think that he does it? I don't know. Well, what makes him so good? You know that deaf, dumb, and that blind kid, well, he sure plays a mean pinball. Well, he ain't got no distractions, can't hear no buzzes and bells. Don't see lights a flashing, and he plays by sense of smell. Always gets a replay, and I've never seen him fall. You know that deaf, dumb, and that blind kid, well, he sure plays a mean pinball. Well, he's a pinball wizard, and there has to be a twist. He's a pinball wizard, he's got such a supple wrist. Well, how do you think that he does it? I don't know. What makes him so good? You know that deaf, dumb, and that blind kid, but he sure plays a mean pinball. I said that deaf, dumb, and that blind kid, well, he sure plays a mean pinball. I said that deaf, dumb, and blind kid, well, he sure plays a mean pin. Okay, hope everything's coming through okay. It's all going good this way, this end of the pipe. I'm just hoping it comes through to your end. Right, now I'm playing songs this week. That's Pinball Wizard. Well, it's a mashup. It's Pinball Folsom Prison, if anybody could tell. And what I'm doing is I'm picking out some old songs I used to do quite a few years ago. So there'll probably be a few mistakes as well, to be honest. But we'll see how we go. Let's pick this one. This one's it's always been a favourite of mine, this one. And most of them that I play, you could call them blues because they're all sad. Looking from a window above, it's like a story of love. Can you hear me? came back only yesterday. It's moving farther away. I want you near me. All I needed was a love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. Sometimes when I think of her name, when it's only a game, and I need you, listening to the words that you say, it's getting harder to stay. When I see you, all I needed was a love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. La da 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 dee da da dee da 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 dee da 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 da. All I needed was a love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. You know this is gonna take a long time, and I wonder what's mine. I can't take no more. I wonder if you'll understand the touch of your hand behind closed doors. All I needed was a love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. All I needed was a love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. Only you. Only you. What a great song there. Sung by Yazoo many years ago. Now, I'll see if I can get through this one. I'm going to put this on to change the flavour of the song slightly. I think I've got it. I've not sung this for about 2-3 years. This is a song that I wrote all about ketchup. All about, let's just move this, sign this up a bit. There you go. It's all about ketchup. Whoop. Here we go. That's better. Crash bang bloody wallop. Right. Okay. This is a song all about ketchup. And I don't mind a bit of ketchup on my chips. So I wrote a song about it. I like ketchup on my chips. I also like it as a dip. Almost like it as a dip. I love ketchup sauce. I'll get it in a minute. Here we go. I love ketchup on my chips. I also like it as a dip. often get it on my fingertips. I love ketchup sauce. Ketchup with my boiled egg, fried or scrambled toasted bread. I'll eat ketchup till I'm dead. I love ketchup sauce. Ketchup sauce goes great with your beans on toast. You can beat a little bit of ketchup on your Sunday roast, on sausage rolls or a beefy bake. I want ketchup on my T-bone steak. I don't want no daddy's brown, even when the chips are down. If we're proffered, I will frown. I love ketchup sauce. Beetroot, mint, and mayonnaise on my food is just a craze. Even in my salad days, I love ketchup sauce. Ketchup sauce goes great with your beans on toast. You can't beat a little bit of ketchup on your Sunday roast, on sausage rolls or a beefy bake. I want ketchup on my T-bone steak. Tartar sauce upon my fish, not only the perfect dish. Guess I know what I would wish. I love ketchup sauce. Ketchup sauce goes great with your beans on toast. You can't beat a little bit of ketchup on your Sunday roast, on sausage rolls or a beefy bake. Well, I want ketchup on my T-bone steak. I like ketchup on my chips. I also like it as a dip, often on my fingertips. I love ketchup sauce. I told you there'd be a mistake. Right, I'll have to work on that one. Ketchup sauce. Now, this is a song that I wrote, and it's on my first album, and that album is called Songs on the Back Foot. It's the one that gets stuck in the box, that one. Now, if you would like a copy of this, then all you have to do is to message me on Facebook and or through gjarmstrong.co.uk, and you can buy this for £7 of your English pounds, including free post. Now, it has 10 tracks on it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you, free of charge, this DVD with it. And this is a DVD of me doing a gig at the LMRCA in Altrincham. So that's 2 for the price of 1. And this song is on it. And this is all about it's all about a family who worked on the docks back in the day. He was the sun, he was the sun, he was the sun, he was the sun. He was the son of a Toronto Banksman, lifting loads off the inbound ships, guiding cranes above the fleet to lay the load down at his feet, with the train of the ropes on his fame. His father worked the docks and his grandpa before him tradition of the bloodline of the men. In the cold and the rain, just their arms take the strain of the rope nets that were swinging off the crane. He was the son of a Toronto banksman, lifting loads up the inbound ships and grading cranes above the feet to lay the load down at his feet with the waving of his arms to the sky. With one eye on the road and the other on the load, he safely laid the goods down to rest. But he never saw the boy that was playing with his toy, who had no right to be playing on the docks. He was the son of a Toronto banksman, lifting loads of the inbound ships and guiding cranes above the fleet to lay the load down at his feet with the waving of his arms to the sky. As they lowered down the crate, well, it sealed the young boy's fate. Nothing left but a little broken toy. Well, all the men were brought to tears, the worst they'd seen in 40 years, the death of that poor little boy. He was the son of the Toronto banksman, lifting loads off the inbound ships, guiding cranes above the fleet to lay the load down at his feet with the waving of his arms to the sky. From the docks he walked away, didn't even get his pay. He couldn't bring himself to return. Took his son to work that day, and the price he has to pay, his blood will never work the docks again. He was the son of a Toronto banksman, lifting loads up the inbound ships, guiding cranes above the fleet to lay that load down at his feet with the waving of his arms to the sky. With the waving of his arms to the sky, with the waving of his arms to the sky. The Toronto banksman there. Now, the thing is, I've had many jobs in my life. I've done just about everything you can think of. Worked on building sites, in factories, in food processing plants, been an electrician, barber, you name it, I've done it. I've done a lot. And when I first left school, I joined the ranks of the mill workers, because where I live, it was all mill towns. And I started in a mill. And it was a yarn mill called Boris Buckley's on Whitelands Road in Ashton-under-Lyne. But as time went on, all of these mills closed down and all these people lost their jobs. And it really hit hard in the early 80s. And by the early 90s, most of them were gone. Turned into storage units or factories of other kinds, small working units or flats. That was what they did. Or they pulled them down and redeveloped the whole place and built a few houses on them. But this song is called Jobs No More, and it's all about the closure of the mills and the effect it had on the people. Jobs No More. And this is on the album as well. Today they close my factory down, let the heart die in my town. Men and women out of work, factory floor to the office clerk. No need to rise on Monday morning, no work to do to earn your corn. All my friends I saw each day sadly haven't much to say. Microchip technology, well, it came with no apology. Computers do the work of 10. Jobs no more for boys and men. Boys and men. Boys and men. Wagons came with cranes today to load the looms to take away. In Wells boots and a leather cap, they cut this pipe work up for scrap. Ships are loaded, ropes released. Destination the Far East. We led the world, it's British made, now substandard import trade. Microchip technology, well it came with no apology. Computers do the work of 10. Jobs no more for boys and men. Boys and men. Boys and men. Well, months went by, then turned to years. No jobs, men had reduced to tears. No Christmas dinner, Sunday best. Birthdays cancelled and the rest. I'd give you anything you like, but sorry lad, there's no new bike. Money's tight, times are hard, I can't afford a birthday card. Microchip technology, well it came with no apology. Computers do the work of 10. Jobs no more for boys and men. Boys and men. Boys and men. My young lad's turned 24. He's never had a job before. His young son is only 3, but he'll have no job just like me. Silicone chips made everything fast, our way of life left in the past. We thought that this technology would benefit our prodigy. Microchip technology, well it came with no apology. Computers do the work of 10. Jobs no more for the boys and men. Boys and men. Boys and men. They closed our old job center down, demolished half of my old town, undermined by the minimum wage, increased the retirement age. Now all the pubs have hired thugs, booming business selling drugs. England's gardens full of weed, now too many mouths to feed. Microchip technology, well it came with no apology. Computers do the work of 10. Jobs no more for boys and men. Boys and men. Boys and men. We're waiting for the good old days when we all worked in different ways. It's no one's fault, no one's to blame. Inevitable change that came. Now there's a motto that is apt: to survive you must adapt. I've found a market with a need. I'm growing plants and I'm selling weed. Microchip technology, it came with no apology. Computers do the work of 10. Jobs no more for boys and men. 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 If that ain't the blues, I don't know what is. Now, that are the hints of the way that the world's gone. We used to be a big drinking sort of country. We was well into the beer back in the day, and anybody that left school, the first thing you wanted to do was get a pint in your hand. That was the thing. Young lads all wanted to be men, so they wanted to get in the pub and get a pint in their hand. I think I was 15 when I first had my first pint of bitter. It was in a pub that's no longer. It's a carpet shop now. As we're losing pubs, and if we don't use them, we'll lose them, folks. But all the pubs are changing now into different things because nobody's going out, nobody's drinking like they used to. But I remember my first pint. I went into it. It's called the Red Lion in Hyde. And I went in my best gruff voice, and I said, "All right." And the landlord, it was a shit pub, and nobody went in, so he was thankful of anybody, underage drinkers, anybody drunks, he'd take them all on because he needed it. And so we walked in, me and my mates, and "All right, mate." I was only 14, 15. And he said, "All right, son." He said, "What do you want?" I said, "I'll have a pint of bitter." He said, "No problem. There you go." And give me a pint of bitter. And I put it to my lips and I supped it, took a big gulp of it and went, lovely. It tasted like piss. It was bleeding awful. And it took me a long time to find any beer that I actually liked the taste of, to be honest. And that's not a bad thing. But now it's not beer. Beer's not a problem now, as it used to be. Was it really a problem? I mean, they say it was a problem, but back when I was a lad, everybody went to work and put a week's graft in to earn the money so you could go in the pub. There wasn't many people that that were basically what you could call piss cans. Didn't work. All they did was drink. Drunks. There was plenty of people that you could call a drunk, but he worked. Now they don't work. Now they think they're paid to drink now. But drink's not the thing. Now it's drugs. Now everybody's on weed or cocaine or God knows what. And you think to yourself, it's gone up 3 or 4 notches. I mean, when I was a lad, we barely, you could barely find any hard drugs or cannabis or anything. You had to go all the way down to Moss Side to get your bush, your cannabis. Letting a few secrets out now, but now it's everywhere. I mean, they're practically selling it in the bleeding corner shop now. But this is all about a lad that I knew many, many years ago called, his nickname was Abbo. I can't remember his name. But he used to go in the pub we used to go in, and he used to do a lot of travelling. He'd disappear, and he'd go travelling, working away. And that was the thing. Everybody worked away. Everybody went to the holiday camps and worked at them, or they even went abroad, went picking grapes in France, strawberries in Spain, or even went round to the kibbutz. And so he used to tell us all these stories when he got back. And, of course, I'm sat there one day and bingo, this idea came. And none of it's particularly true, but it's all based on stories that have been told, of various people. And I put it together. And this is called Lebanese Gold. That boy's got the Lebanese gold. Said he's never gonna get that old. Gonna hitch a ride down to Istanbul. Gonna leave this town with his pockets full. Ride to visit on a magic bus. Gonna work in some Israeli kibbutz. Make his way down to Marrakesh. Buy a caftan coat and gonna live on fish. That boy's gonna grow his hair. People look, but they just don't care. On his back is a dragon tattoo. Hides his money in the heel of his shoe. All the boys in the bar back home gonna wish they were all there getting stoned. He'll be back in a couple of years with stories to tell and a long, 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 long beard. That boy's got the Lebanese gold. Said he's never gonna get that old. Gonna hitch a ride to Istanbul. Gonna leave that town with his pockets full. Ride on the magic bus. Gonna work in some Israeli kibbutz. Make his way down to Marrakesh. Buy a kaftan coat and live on fish. That boy's got the Lebanese gold. Said he's never gonna get that old. Gonna hitch a ride down to Istanbul. Leave that town with his pockets full, you know. Ride on the desert magic bus. Gonna work in some Israeli kibbutz. Make his way down to Marrakesh. Buy a kaftan coat and gonna live on fish. Gonna live on fish. He's gonna live on fish. Gonna live on fish. That boy's got the Lebanese gold. The Lebanese gold. Oh, I'm gonna hit you with one or two more, and that's gonna be it, I think, for tonight. Yeah. Right. Now, who's gonna be the next lunatic to run the asylum? That's the big question. Just adjust me, Dickie. That's better. Yeah. Which idiot are we gonna have next? And this is the thing, all the papers and the newspapers and the news on TV, they're all saying, oh, is it going to be her or is it going to be him? And he's gone now. And it's narrowing it down. I'll tell you what's going to happen. It's going to get down to the billionaire Rishi Sunak and some woman. Doesn't matter which one it is. And you've never heard of them before until they got in this race. And you'll probably never hear of them again. And they're just there, just a token. So you say, well, which turd do you want to pick? Because it doesn't really matter. Because you really don't want that one. You don't know. At least you know that turd. So that'll be the one that they pick. And remember, they're picking them. Not you. Not me. We're not voting for anybody. We're not voting for nobody. They're already in power. They've already got us. Got us in the grip. So it doesn't matter who gets in. We're going to get shafted any road. That's always been the same. Historically speaking, you've only got to check it. Check out historically. We had a bit of a good run in the 70s and 80s, and then it came back and bit us in the arse again. Everything goes up but my pay. Everything goes up but my pay. You know, the rent man knocks upon my door, but I don't live there anymore. Everything goes up but my pay. You know, the gasoline price is too high. Yeah, the gasoline price is too high. That old car of mine won't cruise if I don't fill it up with juice. The gasoline price is too high. I had a wife and 2 young kids, but she done put me down. She said I ain't no good when the payday comes around. This old world is a lonesome place when you ain't got no dough. Nobody wants to know you when you got nowhere to go. Everything goes up but my pay. I said everything goes up but my pay. You know the rent man knocks upon my door, but I don't live there anymore. Everything goes up but my pay. Everybody's feeling the pinch. I said everybody's feeling the pinch. You know rich folks driving in the fancy cars, they're drinking champagne with caviar. Everybody's feeling the pinch. I had a wife and 2 young kids, but she done put me down. She said I ain't no use when the payday comes around. This old world is a lonesome place when you ain't got no dough. And nobody wants to know you when you got nowhere to go. Everything goes up but my pay. I said everything goes up but my pay. You know the rent man knocks upon my door, but I don't live here anymore. Everything goes up but my pay. 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 I'm going to finish with a love song, just to cheer you all up before I go. So, don't forget, every Thursday, 8 o'clock, I'll be here. And don't forget, you can buy a CD if you so desire. And if you do, just message me and I'll send you a free DVD. 2 for the price of 1. Cheap at twice the price. This is a Merle Haggard song. Today I started loving you again, and I'm right back where I've really always been. I got over you just long enough to let my heart ache mend. Then today I started loving you again. What a fool I was to think that I could get by with these few million tears that I cried. I should have known that the worst was yet to come, and that the crying time for me had just begun. 'Cause today I started loving you again, and I'm right back where I've really always been. I got over you just long enough to let my heartache mend. Then today I started loving you again. Well, what a fool I was to think I could get by with these few million tears that I cried. And now I know that the worst is yet to come, and that the crying time for me has just begun. 'Cause today today I started loving you again. And I'm right back where I've really always been. I got over you just long enough to let my heartache mend. Then today I started loving you again. I said today I started loving you again. I said today I started loving you again. Today I started loving you again. Fantastic song from the great Merle Haggard. And I'm going to sing one more song, if I can find the bloody thing. Let's see, yeah, there you go. Right, the fingers are starting to ache now, but so thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to leave you with this one. And this is all about living in Manchester, being Manchester born and bred. I'm Manchester born and bred, and I'll live here until I am dead. There is no place I would rather be, 'cause I'm Manchester born and bred. I grew up on these cobbled streets with no shoes upon my feet. We were poor, but we were proud, so I'm singing this song out loud. I'm Manchester born and bred, and I'll live here until I am dead. And there is no place I would rather be, 'cause I'm Manchester born and bred. Now payday is, start again. There's north, south, east, and a west, and where you live, it is probably the best. Up the reds and up the blues, whichever team you choose, 'cause I'm Manchester born and bred, and I'll live here until I am dead. And there is no place I would rather be, 'cause I'm Manchester born and bred. Well, payday is Friday for me, and that's when we have a chippy tea. Then we go down the local pub, or the working men's social club, 'cause I'm Manchester born and bred, and I'll live here until I am dead. And there is no place I'd rather be, 'cause I'm Manchester born and bred. We drink Vimto and Boddington's beer. When we fight, we show no fear. We help anyone who's feeling down, and we give you our very last pound, 'cause I'm Manchester born and bred, and I live here until I am dead. And there is no place I would rather be, 'cause I'm Manchester born and bred. I'm Manchester born and bred, and I'll live here until I am dead. And there is no place I would rather be, Manchester, born and bred. I said I'm Manchester, born and bred. Okay, Thursday, 8 o'clock. Be there or be square. See you next week.